Hello everybody, so we'll start momentarily. Let me just flip to here. So a bunch of new leaks came out. Now I'm sorry I'm using the Killstream audio, so you'll have to endure Ralph and Dame Pesos and all those guys. I did try to find like a separate audio. Like I did look for it. I couldn't find one. The only audio not from this was something Dame Pesos had put up on his channel, and that's not edited. So this is kind of what I had to go with in the end. So let me just pull up. Let's see here. Mundane Matt Social Blade. And we'll just take a look at this before we start. Okay, let me just put up another one. People have been asking for a drama video. I honestly haven't really been keeping up with DSP. Can anyone like say if anything's happened with Phil lately? I just I don't know. I just can't recall like anything interesting happening with him for quite some time. So, okay, so here we go. We have Mundane Matt's Social Blade profile. So let's just take a look at this. Let's see how our boy is doing. And if this stream goes down, we 100% know who's doing it. Okay. So, okay. I'm just gonna have to have this full screen. So, Mundane Matt has lost 1,000 subscribers in the last 30 days. Take a sip. If you're wondering, I'm drinking some chamomile tea. Let's see. His subscriber numbers are going down by like 100 a day. His views are in the garbage. He makes about $5,000 a year on YouTube, which is horrendous. I mean, let's see here. He's getting like 3,000 to 4,000 views a day, which is atrocious. Like, Matt obviously gets more views than I do, at least for the moment. But I don't do this for a living. This is a hobby I might make a couple bucks off of. But this is Matt's like full-time job. Look at that. New views for Matt Jarbo. He's gone from over a million, from 2 million views a month in January of 2018 to like just over 100,000 views a month. And subscribers have just been tanking for poor Matt. And keep in mind, he's still doing this for a living. He probably doesn't really make significantly more money than I do off of YouTube at this. Well, no, he probably does, but he's still just, yeah. So Straylock just says, doesn't he have a family? Oh man, I almost feel like you planned to ask that question. So that's what we all thought. We thought Mundane Matt had a family. He always talks about his daughter. That's kind of like, that was the only thing I kind of respected him for. Was I'm like, okay, Matt may be a failure at everything else, but at least he reproduced. At least he has an heir to the house of Jarbo. And I, like, even if not you achieved nothing else in your life, I mean, that's something. You had a kid, you kind of won in terms of reproducing. So that apparently is not the case though. So I'll try to skip Ralph and Dame Pesos' parts.
Daughter, right? It's gonna make everything clear. He's my girlfriend's daughter. I'm gonna play it in 3, 2, 1.
My daughter's still making noise. She's not feeling well. My girlfriend's daughter.
My girlfriend's daughter.
Okay, could you guys hear that okay? Let me just... The audio quality of these leaks are terrible. From my understanding, I think he paid... I forget if Ralph paid like hundreds of dollars to get this audio. He paid a significant amount of money. In my opinion, it was probably worth it. Because that was amazing. But let's just sorry, let me just get that to full screen. There we go. That looks better.
She's not feeling well. My girlfriend's daughter.
My girlfriend's daughter. I'm gonna play it in 3, 2, 1.
My daughter's still making noise. She's not feeling well. My girlfriend's daughter.
Okay, so I'm going to be trying to give Matt the benefit of the doubt because that's what I do. It's easy to just trash people, and there's going to be a lot of trashing. There's going to be a lot of trashing Matt in this, but does that necessarily mean it's not his daughter? Because I know my mother will say your father when he's angry at me, when she's angry at him. And she'll say, and my dad will say your mother when he's angry at her. And my mother will sometimes say, Argent, you're your father's son. But I don't think it's in any of the, I don't think that's the context, to be honest. Like if he had said she's like, my daughter is really loud. My daughter is crying. She's my girlfriend's daughter. Like as in my girlfriend is a bitch and my daughter's a bitch. But I just don't know why anyone would say that unless they are in fact not their actual daughter. And I think she was pregnant when they were together. So he didn't even wait till like the kid was born. Now, once again, I always have to make this caveat whenever we're talking about raising someone else's kid. I don't think this applies if it's a widow. That is, if some dude, if her husband like died in a war, and you marry her and you adopt the kids, and they become your step. I don't think that's cucky at all. I think that's actually a very noble thing to do. But in this case, no, he's a massive cuck.
My girlfriend's daughter. No! It's proven. It's really not his
My daughter's still making noise. She's not feeling well. My girlfriend's daughter.
Sorry, I'm drinking.
He got distracted and fucked it up. I don't think it was clear enough. I should play it again. Maybe. I think I should.
I think so.
My daughter's still making noise. She's not feeling well. My girlfriend's daughter.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I want people to vote in the chat. Press 1 if this is definitive evidence that the daughter is not Matt's daughter. That Matt is actually a literal cuckold. And press 2 if it's not clear enough from the audio. That he might have just misspoke or something like that. So I'll give people a minute to vote. And we'll see if the chat thinks Matt is a literal cuck. Or if it just he was tired and he misspoke or something like that. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of 1s. A couple people put 2, but mostly 1s.
Oh.
Let's jump ahead a bit.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
2 minutes. We're gonna start here. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. You ready, Dame? All right. Let's start it.
Yes, let's do it.
3. We're gonna start it on go. Right? Okay. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, go.
My job is very basic. I sit at home. I take orders from
I have no idea who this dude is.
fucking lonely old people for the Home Shopping Network. I make $13 an hour. And you can get that job too.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Do you join your podcast? Like, you just take the segments that you're talking about and put them in individual videos?
Yeah.
Where you say, oh, okay.
It's because people aren't going to listen to like an hour and a half show, especially when you have like someone like Nick Ricada that's on. But I will say this, Crom. Really need to calm down, dude. Not everything is.
People aren't going to listen to an hour and a half show. I don't know. Most of these like internet shows are like 3 or 4 hours long. a lot of them are ungodly abominations. I mean, the kill stream is super long.
As crazy as it seems.
Let me pause it at 40 seconds. Did he say people won't listen to an hour-and-a-half show? Is that really his excuse?
No, I think people aren't going
Yeah.
to listen to
I mean,
an
they
hour
won't
and a half
listen to
show.
an hour-and-a-half of
Especially
Monday,
with Nick
of
Raqueta.
Mundane Matt. Yeah, I was going to say, they will listen to an hour-and-a-half show. We have over 500,000 podcast downloads, and not to mention live views.
Add the qualifier that you actually have to say.
Seconds, that's where I'm at. Let's continue. I'll just let it play out. I won't interrupt this one again. All right, 40 seconds. Let's continue right now.
If you watch a quartering video.
But I think I feel like I'm missing something here. The quartering makes you, like, you know, he gets under your skin.
Uh-oh.
Well, no. It's more like trying to find a specific instance. Okay, like for example, Stanley and his Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a lot of people are not happy that it's still being used by the Stanley company.
A state.
By POW Entertainment to promote the blog and things like that, which I can understand. But it's there was this big blowout backlash, overreaction, in my opinion. And I know Crumb thought negatively about it. And I'm only saying, I use that as an example because it's more like, you know, this is not something that's new. It's been going on, and it's not like it's off-brand. Posting business-related content because these people, they were a business, they were a brand. That doesn't die because they did. But the problem, though, there are people out there that get mad on the internet because they know that it gets other people mad on the internet.
Oh, no, that's not me.
No. I'm not saying that is you, but some of the videos you link, I do think.
I'm gonna skip ahead a bit because I don't even know who like the quartering is, to be honest.
Against him or whatever. DMC.
Yeah, exactly. Breaking news here on the kill stream. Matt can
plays my videos with this.
that never goes out of stuff.
Oh, he's bitching about you. Oh, we need to play this.
Feeding it to them, and the guys.
Oh.
But what you have to understand about Midnight's Edge, and this is just because I personally know this, there's a dude inside their group.
How YouTubers?
Oh.
There's one.
Yeah, I don't even really know who the quartering is, to be honest. So
Be a very successful channel, I have a feeling. If you just put that out once a week and just leave the comments.
There's a dude.
That is, but apparently it's like. Oh, we need to play this one. Back the introductions. It's
Number
better
two?
to go draw.
Number 2 is really
Go
good.
raw.
All right,
Yes.
all right. We're going in raw with number 3, 2, 1, go.
But what you have to understand about Midnight's Edge, and this is just because I personally know this, there's a dude inside their group who apparently has inside information about Discovery, who's been feeding it to them, and the guy's a fucking asshole. It's not even him. It's like his wife works with something in conjunction with it. And this guy's a fucking asshole. I actually left the Midnight's Edge group because of this guy. Because he was there and said hi. If anyone was in there and they said, I like Discovery, he would fucking attack you. And I
there are people who like Star Trek Discovery. I just refuse to even watch it. I remember one of the things that really pissed me off was when it's like, oh, it's the first black captain. I'm like, what about Benjamin Sisko? Benjamin Sisko was a badass. But no, he doesn't get mentioned.
I went to the mods and I'm like, hey guys, this is what the fuck? And they're like, well, yeah, he gives us information on the show. So we'll tell him to cool it. And that's the thing. If that's not, I like Midnight's Edge, but that's the thing I really don't like about them is if anyone can give them anything or anyone can benefit
He
them
can't
in
help
any way,
himself. He's
they don't
like a
give a shit. They'll be like,
crackhead,
"All
except
right,
he's a
whatever."
flaghead.
Like, they'll keep him around.
Yeah.
I don't engage with them much anymore as a result of that. They've built a name for themselves on YouTube attacking Star Trek Discovery. Like, I've told them this point blank. I'm all like, when Discovery got renewed for season 3, I tweeted, I can think of 3 people that are on suicide.
Who cares? Does anyone actually care about Star Trek Discovery? Does anybody watch it? Does anybody like it? I don't know. I just was not interested.
Watch right now. And one of the responses was from Robot Shlomo, who is Rob, one of the co-hosts of Midnight's Edge After Dark, and then him and I talked about it in DM for a little bit. But like, I point blank called him out for that shit, you know. And I like the guys. I have nothing against them, but it's like they started teaming up with a group of people that all they do is complain for profit. Like, that's just it. And I've called that out because I just find that to be like.
But doesn't Matt run a news channel where he complains about stuff constantly? I mean, he complains about everyone who makes fun of him. He complains about, like, oh, why can't everyone just be a big brain centrist like me? He hates everybody. So like, I don't get. I mean, his career was built on complaining that someone false flagged one of his videos. So
like, I'm like, you guys used to not be like this, and a lot of people have actually been like, yeah, I'm kind of done with Midnight's Edge a little bit as a result of that. I bought a bunch of Ripple, right? The Ripple coin, because it was like 48 cents a coin, and I bought like, I think, 150 coins. And so if it ever hits, like, if Ripple ever picks up, which has been over a year and it's actually decreased in value, so I've lost money on Ripple. But if it picks up like $1,000 a coin, or some shit like that, I'm fucking selling, man, and pay off my house. When I do the recording tomorrow for the podcast, is pretty much
Let me pause it. Let me pause it. 246
shit coin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's because it's like it was crappy audio. Like, I have the raw audio, it's just not clipped, so that's why I didn't feel like clipping it. 'Cause it's fucking a Mundane Matt stream. But yeah, their technical problems are not very good. But like, to be fair with this Ripple, I don't even know what Ripple is, but I mean, if there's a new cryptocurrency coming out and it's 48 cents a coin, I don't know, that's not that weird a thing to do, like buy a couple of them and like, oh, maybe they'll take off. I mean, who knows? I don't know if any of them have actually taken off aside from Bitcoin. Was there like Ethereum or something? Maybe if someone can post in the chat if there's any other cryptocurrency that actually gained any kind of value. But I guess because like Bitcoin was so cheap and everyone made fun of it and no one bothered to mine it, then they always feel like, oh, if I could just buy like 10 billion of them for like a penny, then maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will be the one that gains like a bit of money. So it's not really that weird to me.
Can we pause it? And, hold on.
By the way, it's
it.
way down.
Wait.
Lost a shit ton of money on Ripple.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me pause. Remember when he said he owned a house and all that? I guess not. Wait.
Lost a shit ton of money on Ripple.
He didn't lose a shit ton of money. He bought 150 at 45 cents a piece, which is what, like $60. So like he lost $65. That's not a shit ton of money. I mean, fair is fair.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me pause it at 246 and just note his big financial plan to pay off his house. Remember when he said he owned a house and all that? I guess not. His big financial plan to pay off his house is fucking Ripple taking off, fucking cryptocurrency. That's his big plan. That doesn't seem like a very sound plan, gentlemen. Or does it? I don't know. Somebody say something. Flamenco, what are your thoughts on this? Or they're all dead. He's been talking this whole right, Dame? Happened.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're back. Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Gator's
Ethan,
here
Ralph,
too!
it's me, Gator.
No, just get back to the fucking audio.
Gator. he was talking.
We want Matt to live a classic content creator. We love him.
Import people.
We pause that.
Okay, here we go.
And I'm gonna start playing it from there. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, let's play it. Okay, I'll just go again. 3, 2, 1. Go.
You know, what was like the 31st, the 30th, what did I miss? That kind of thing. Or just read or really just pulling from like Google News. I mean, I've been losing the subs have been losing like fucking crazy.
Oh,
I mean, like if you look at my social blade, we're talking like 60 to 70 people a day, and
I really wish they wouldn't yell over the audio. Like, the audio is bad to begin with. Do they really need to, like, shrilly yell over it? I mean, it makes it even harder to hear, but... I mean, I guess I'm talking over it. But I like to think my voice isn't that shrill.
I mean, I've been losing, like... the subs have been losing, like, fucking crazy.
Oh,
I mean, like, if you look at my social blade, we're talking, like, 60 to 70 people a day, and I have no idea...
No, can't
where the
imagine
fuck
why.
that's coming from. There's not a lot of views coming in.
Complete fucking.
No idea.
And it's just mass on subscriptions. So I have no idea. I don't get it. Okay, so did anyone
right now.
Watch the stream tonight or the premiere?
Remember how good he
Not
said he was
really,
doing the
no.
other day? He's not
I was
talking that way
planning
behind
on
closed
listening
doors.
to it tomorrow when I have to sew a bunch of stuff.
I was making dinner.
That's all right. No one else listened to it either. I mean, I did for jokes.
Did you hear that?
You know,
Did you hear that?
There's t-shirt.
No one.
Let me see if I can find... Let me see if any of the ones I downloaded was this clip.
Nah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. At MythCon last year...
No.
I don't know Andy Worski
on that broad. Nah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. But what you have to understand about Midnight's Edge, and this is just because I personally know this, there's a dude inside their group, or some shit like that. I'm fucking selling, man, and pay off my house.
Okay, I think
When
this
I do the
might
recording
be it.
tomorrow for the podcast is pretty much going to be like,
Okay, let's see
what
if
was,
this works.
losing, and I have no idea where the fuck that's coming from. There's not a lot of views coming in.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so this was in the supercut. Okay, guys, we should be able to just listen to the supercut. So let's just try going through this.
Never picks up. And one of the responses was from Robot Shlomo, but like I point blank called them out for that shit. Nothing against them, but it's like they started teaming up with a group of people that all they do, like has actually been like, yeah, I'm kind of 50 coins, and ever, which has been over a year and it's actually decreased in value. So I've lost money on Ripple. But if it picks up like $1,000 a coin, or some shit like that, I'm fucking selling, man, and pay off my house. When I do the recording tomorrow for the podcast, is pretty much going to be like, what was like the 31st, the 30th, what did I miss? That kind of thing, or just or really just pulling from like Google News. I mean, I've been losing
Well, that's a fucking great podcast, isn't it? I'm just going to pull what's from the top of Google News from my fucking podcast and just read that. I mean, that's not really what a podcast... Like, I guess you're supposed to maybe kind of talk about recent news, but I don't know. Matt has no, like, insight into anything. He deliberately doesn't take a position, and he doesn't seem particularly bright. So let's just listen to this again, because there's a moment of, like, missed self-awareness here.
When I do the recording tomorrow for the podcast, is pretty much going to be like, what was like the 31st, the 30th, what did I miss? That kind of thing. Or really just pulling from like Google News. I mean, I've been losing, like, the subs have been losing like fucking crazy. I mean, like, if you look at my social blade, we're talking like, 60 to 70 people a day, and I have no idea where the fuck that's coming from. There's not a lot of views coming in, and it's just mass on subscriptions.
Okay, so I'm putting my shitty podcast together, and it's literally just going to be me reading more news articles. And whenever I do a video that's just me reading news articles, it doesn't really get too many views. So I don't really get why people are unsubscribed. I don't get what the issue is here, people. It doesn't really get, like, why are they not following? Why am I losing subs? I can't figure it out.
So I have no idea. I don't get it. Okay, so did anyone watch the stream tonight or the premiere?
Not really, no.
I was planning on listening to it tomorrow when I have to sew a bunch of stuff.
I was making dinner.
That's all right. No one else listened to it either. I mean, I did for jokes, but though, have you guys seen the Boulders t-shirt?
The what?
So, if you just said that, so this is his Discord, and literally he did like a special preview video, and not a single person watched it on his Discord.
Like the Boulders t-shirt that I made?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, this is, I took that logo and put it in there. So, that's like that's the joke. There's a lot of artwork that was made about me. Yeah. Well, there's one of them. There's one of them as me. It's me, but as like a Lego, and I'm like.
So he just took some random dude's picture and slapped it on a shirt and decided to sell it. What?
And I'm crying. Somebody drew of me where I'm like a pig, but like it's a pig body with my face, and I'm like in shrink wrap, like in the store. So basically, I can co-opt whichever ones I want, and then like the people tried making the Boulder stuff. I put it on a T-shirt, and that shut them the fuck up. It was pretty good. Hey, so if I were to go, there's a local shop here that sells nothing but 40K. If I were to go there and do like a little vlog from the store, would that be something you think people who watch who like 40K stuff would be interested in? It's like, for one, I don't know anything about 40K, so I'd be going in blind, but I would admit that. Well, if you want an epic gamer moment, really, you gotta talk to fucking PewDiePie.
Oh, yeah!
Okay, so that's Matt's big plan to revitalize his channel. He's going to go to a Games Workshop location and do a vlog there. What the fuck would he do? Would he just be like him filming himself looking at the Warhammer 40K stuff? Would it be like him learning how to play it? If it was him learning how to play it, that might actually be semi-interesting. I don't think that's really gonna it's really gonna work, Matt. I mean, I guess I gotta give him credit for doing a little bit of diversity in his content. Like, I guess he's thinking of doing something else. But like, the issue is, and I've done vlogs like this where I've been at stores, but I do like jokes and I play a character and I like find something kind of funny. Matt's just gonna go there and I don't even fucking know what it'll be. The problem is, it's not like a DSP vlog. A DSP vlog would be like a shit show. He'd be like waving his arms. He'd be like pretending to know stuff. Like, that would be something I'd actually watch. This would just be fucking boring. Okay, let's look at the Supercut Part 3.
Nah, here's the thing. At MythCon last year, I talked to Jeremy, and the first thing he said to me was like, make an apology video. And I'm all like, well, I was like talking about it at the Sargon, and then Jeremy goes, he's like, dude, if you make an apology video, I'll support you, I'll back you up. And I did make an apology video after talking to other people who were actual friends of mine and having heart-to-heart conversations about it, and that no way did anything with Jeremy have anything to do with it. But then, of course, I did it, and he's no support from him, period. And then he still was like talking trash about me on his fucking podcast. So, like, I don't give a shit. Like, fucking, the thing is, the quartering is low hanging fruit about everything. There's no actual critical thought that goes into anything. I mean, I'm a centrist, but I'll present both sides. No one talks about bearing anymore.
Does he? Does he present both sides? I don't know.
And his content is literally all the same.
Yeah.
It's the same as it's always been. It's just You know, this SJW feminist, she's out there making claims, right? So, you know.
But isn't that literally all of your content? I mean, people in, I don't know, glass domes shouldn't throw boulders? I don't know.
He's got to deal with people. Fucking, this is the thing with the quartering is like, you know, I'd say he's good at making thumbnails, and he's good at what he does, and I watch a lot of these people's content, so I like to see how they do it. But the difference between, and this might be, I sometimes.
Okay, this is so fucking. We'll get back to this in a minute. I just wanted to self-indulgently play a video I did a while back. These were the leaks that came out of my secret Discord server. So these are leaks that came out of my Discord server, and this was my attempt to address the leaks that came out of my Discord server. So let's just take a peek at this. So there's been a series of slanderous comments against me lately that have said I've been running 24-hour ops, I've been running a doc server, I've been going after people, getting their channels flagged, getting their channels shut down, and that's not the case. I have not been running a 24-hour ops server, I've been running a 25-hour ops server. So here we go, we have my Discord, Argent's Death to Normies HQ. It's the center of the party. So if, like, we scroll down past the chat, we have the 25-hour ops server. So it's slander when people say, Argent, you've been running. It's not a 24. It's a 25-hour ops. And as you can see, I've been slandered. Like, let's see what I posted under 25-hour ops. Tonight we dump all of their personal information on YouTube. We're also going to flag all of their channels. All my enemies will be destroyed. But like I said, this doesn't mean I'm guilty of flagging anybody's channel. This isn't evidence at all. Unless you have a picture of me clicking the flag button, then it's not real evidence. It's not evidence. You guys can't come after me for it. And those images are easily photoshopped, so it doesn't really matter. So that's the 25-hour ops. And then we have the docs server. So keep in mind, it is docs with a C, not docs with an X. We like the people on this list, and we are just documenting their behavior. It's like a Nature Channel documentary. It's not gathering any sort of personal information. Like, let's see, what do I say here? I want all of the docs. Oops, I mean docs. Post them all here. I want their heads on a silver platter. Once again, we're going with the Nature Channel thing. I don't actually want their heads on a silver platter. I want them mounted on my wall, and that's oak is normally a good choice for that. So oak is a good choice. I guess I kind of messed up when I was talking here. So we got the 24-hour ops, 25-hour ops. We got the social security numbers. That's where we post people's social security numbers. We have credit card info, so we can buy stuff as them. We have links to the Emu Ranch. Good friends at the Emu Ranch. They give us a lot of the docs with a C. So here's the list of people that we run 25-hour ops on. We have Ryan Response, Miss Mediocre, Boring Bill, Tiny Tim, Lego Machete, Success in the Afternoon, Argent Cough Templar, Suderde Programmer. We have the gym folder, because everybody has a gym folder. And then we also have Nebuchadnezzar of Assyria, Z the Gypsy, and Claws of Damnation. I actually don't remember. Oh, Claws of Damnation is Wings of Salvation. That's Wings of Redemption. That's who it was. Nebuchadnezzar of Assyria, I thought, was pretty funny. So we have this list of people. Once again, I didn't flag those channels. Okay, how am I supposed to do this? Okay, I flagged those other channels. I didn't flag Miss Mediocre. That wasn't me. I know I say here we got her Twitter taken down. Good job, guys. Anyone who doesn't know, who do you think Tiny Tim is? I'm just kind of curious. That means we took her Twitter down a level. We took her down a peg because she was arrogant. So we have the gym folder. We got some sweet docs that are being posted there. That is an actual image, and we have a picture of that's not Suderde programmer. That's Yandere Dev. That's a completely different person. It's unrelated. So I think this confirms that I'm completely innocent of all this stuff. There's no 24-hour ops server. It's a 25-hour. Tiny Tim is Almighty Tevin. Boring Bill is my name for Mundane Matt. Lego Machete is Tonka Saw. Success in the Afternoon is pretty obvious. Emu Ranch is obviously Kiwi Farms. Nebuchadnezzar of Assyria is Sargon of Akkad. Ops server. There's no docs with an X. It's docs with a C. And all this is for is to document the quality content that these people create. It's for no other reason, and I'm tired of this slander, and it's got to stop. And oh yeah, there's one other thing I want to address. So there's been some audio leaks recently, and I'm just going to play the audio leak because I think people have been taking it out of context. I don't think they understand the context of this. So we're just going to play it. Hopefully this comes through okay. Okay, everybody. Thanks for all the hard work. We got all the personal information of these people. We're going to launch our ops tonight at 10 p.m. We're gonna dump it all. We're gonna bury these people. They're never going to be able to get a job again. They're never going to be able to get a car loan again. This is going to be the end of them. But we got it all ready. We got all of their docs, and we're gonna take them all down. And we've spent the last month preparing. We've spent the last month getting ready, and we're going to dox them all. We got social security numbers. We got credit card info. All these guys are going down. They're all going down. So, good job, everybody. Reconvene tonight, and we'll go get them. So, that's the audio leak, and obviously that doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't prove anything.
I was doing anything. I think that's pretty clearly ambiguous. I think that's pretty clear. I meant no ill will to anybody.
Okay, let's get back to. Sorry, I thought that was a funny parody. You can get angry at me for being self-indulgent. Let's go back to this.
I feel like I'm fucking autistic or some shit because the people who appeal to emotion, they always do better. I have so much trouble appealing to emotion in that regard. Yeah. So it's like if you look at my content versus Jeremy, people go, "Oh, Matt."
I have no ability to appeal to people on an emotional level. It's because you're a fucking robot, Matt.
Matt's boring. Well, I use facial expressions. I use hand movements. I use inflections of voice. I get animated. It's like he doesn't present original thought. You know, and the thing is, he's found an audience. He did it with magic. He knows how to come out.
He doesn't present original thought. I can't connect with anybody on an emotional level. Mundane Matt sounds so much like a fucking school shooter. Like he sounds so much like the kind of guy who would just snap and go on a murderous rampage, like destroy the YouTube HQ or that kind of thing.
There, and he'll be like, he's like, "Oh, there's pedophiles."
I kind of wish I could show my face sometimes so I could do facial expressions. That would make some of the jokes a lot funnier.
You know, we got to stop the pedophiles, and then he raised all this money and for background checks, and people have actually come to me privately and been like, you know, I don't think he ever actually provided the money for the background checks, and he also teamed up with a guy named Ethan Van Sciver, who knows how to very much emotionally manipulate people, and everything he does revolves around fundraising. You know, he got punched, so there was a $30,000 GoFundMe raised in order to combat that legally. Then he raised $50,000 for his website, Exclusively Games. You know, everything he does is based around a fucking fundraiser. That's it. Like, it's just he plays people for fucking piggy bank. You know, and then I've listened to the Dankula, to the podcast that they have. It's called The Incredible Salt Mine. and I've listened to it, and it's just low key. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about most of the time. They just have conversations, but it's not even interesting conversations. I listen for like maybe 5 minutes and I tune out, and I'm like, wow.
Right.
Sounds like one of your
no
videos.
Debate. You know, part of the fight over Ghostbusters was the social justice warriors and Ghostbusters. That's what it was. Not anything else. Not like the quality of the movie or anything else. It was just, you know, oh, they said mean things about men. People want confirmation bias. They don't ever want to have their theories. They don't want to have their thoughts challenged.
Wait, is Matt defending Ghostbusters? The the shitty reboot? What the fuck? He's defending fucking Ghostbusters? He's such a fucking cuck.
You know, I mean, look at, like, for example, the new Joker trailer. I didn't like it. I thought it was a bad trailer.
Of course you didn't like it, 'cause it's good. Matt doesn't like things that are good.
I'm not saying the movie's gonna be bad. I just didn't like the trailer. And so I put out a video saying, like, it didn't wow me. I gave my thoughts as to why it didn't wow me. And over 100 dislikes. And that's because people just want to have their confirmation. That's all they care about. So if I could sit there and look at, like, the prevailing conversation, this is true.
People want to listen to something that they're interested in. People want to listen to something that they agree with and that they find interesting. Like, they might, like, they want to find somebody who has a similar taste in movies as them, and I don't, like, what the fuck is this kind of logic? It's like, okay, I'm not going to try to appeal to my audience. But the thing is, like, okay, so I've taken unpopular positions in the past. I sometimes will do it deliberately just to try to be interesting. I think that's an important thing to keep in mind. And anytime I do a video, I don't necessarily agree with everything I'm saying. I try sometimes, particularly if there's a consensus on an issue, to try to take an interesting take on it, even if it's, like, not exactly what I think. But, like, that's a case where being kind of contrarian can work. If you're, like, skilled at explaining things and you kind of go about it the right way, people can like that too. But Matt is none of these things. He just sucks.
And this is why, you know, if you know what you're doing, you can sit there and win YouTube. This is what Jeremy's doing. This is what the quartering is doing. He was, I think, playing the field a little bit a few months ago. Because when it came to me, he made one video about me from more like a neutral perspective. And then he made a second video about me saying he, like, forgave me, which is such a weird thing to say because I didn't do anything to him. And then he made another video basically saying that I'm, like, a sociopath.
Well, you are.
Because, like,
you literally
I talked about, like, you know, the suicide in some videos and whatnot, and, like, trying to say, look, I understand what these people are going through, so I'm using it as a, you know.
No, Matt. People think you're a sociopath because you're a pathological liar. This has been proven. I proved it in a video. There's so many clips of you lying and just lying for no reason, and, like, everything is just bullshit about you. No one really has any idea, like, anything, if anything you say has ever been true, or if it's just 100% bullshit or 50% bullshit. B, you show absolutely no regard for anyone, no loyalty to your friends, no like sense of responsibility towards your fans, like the people who stayed with you. Like, even if you think that the Kumite and Andy Worski and Miss Mediocre and all these people were pieces of shit, and I think there's probably a decent argument to be made for that, I think Matt owed an apology to his viewers, to, like, the people who had supported him over time. And I don't know, if I ever go off on, like, a manic phase and I post a bunch of, like, stuff I regret later on, I at least try to make an apology. I mean, like, it's still my fault for not just being able to step away from the computer and not go on YouTube when I'm kind of in that state. But at least I'm willing to like take some responsibility for it and to try to like apologize. I mean, Matt just doesn't. Also, the fact that he's talking about like his complete inability to connect with people, and I mean, I've talked about that in the past, and it's kind of a major theme of No Chance, and a Froggy T White asks, "You get manic bipolar?" Yes, I have bipolar type 2. I take medication for it and go to therapy, but there are times when, and if you've watched me for a while, you notice I sometimes will just go crazy and I'll post, particularly a community post that's kind of like really aggressive or really angry or kind of sudden, or I'll put up a video that's kind of that sort of thing. But the point I'm trying to make is that Matt talks about these things in such a detached, emotionless way. There's like no pathos there. There's no like relatability to it. It's just
not as an emotional manipulator. This thing I understand because I've had some bad thoughts and everything else, and that's just me being vulnerable, me being open and honest. But he's playing it off like I'm some kind of fucking sociopath.
You
and
are.
Then I meet the guy in person, and he's just like, just make a video and I'll fucking support you. Like, never mind the fact that you spent all this time talking all this shit about me, and then we're at this really nice house in Milwaukee, and like you're just like, yeah, man, like don't feel bad about what I said. It doesn't mean anything, but I'll support you if you do what I want. Yes, that's what it was. That's what he did. That's what it was. So that's that's it.
Well, what were you saying earlier, Matt?
About what?
Oh, I forgot. I'm retarded. Hey. Oh, yes. Who will watch The Watchmen?
What do you mean?
Well, Matt, who will commentate on the commentating community?
I don't know. Someone will at some point.
The answer is you, Matt. You will commentate on them. This is your destiny. Yeah, you need to start with a quartering. You need to make, and I'm putting scare quotes around this phrase. You need to provide helpful video essay criticism.
Well, the thing is, I don't really want to shit on the quartering. I don't really want to care about the quartering at all.
He probably flagged his channel and he was talking about it. I mean, that would actually be good. This guy is concerned trolling Matt, and it's very obvious that he's concerned trolling Matt. But Matt would be way more successful if he just started getting into beefs with people. Just openly just get openly into fights with people and just cover drama. If he wants to be the commentator in the commentary community, I would actually watch his videos then. I mean, if he wants to go after all these people he's had beefs with, that's some good drama. If he really wanted to reinvent himself, he could even do a decent job on it. If he did a decent job on it, then he might be able to build his career back up. But that would take a lot of effort, and that would take a lot of time, and Matt apparently doesn't have either.
I don't think you understand, Matt.
Maybe not.
I'm a crazy person. I'll write the entire essay for you.
You ever thought about just making it yourself?
Look,
yeah.
I don't have the reach. I don't have the channel reach, Matt. You're the only person that can do this. You are the watchman of the watchmen.
You do realize that the average video of mine only gets 2,000 views right now. My reach is shit. So
yeah, that's true.
I really wonder if I'll end up going to Milwaukee this year. If I'll be going to that event, if they're having it, I don't even know. It was funny because the guys who run it, they knew about what was going on with me, and I actually asked them. I said, "Do you guys even?"
Once again, this actually sounds way better than what he's doing now. This would be way better, like I said, than what he's doing now. This is the most obvious concern troll ever. Like, the guy is, like, sarcastic. He's obviously fucking with him. Like, how can Matt not tell from this guy's voice that he's fucking with him?
Want me to, like, come out? Because I was listed as, like, a featured guest. I'm like, do you guys even want me to come on out? And they're all like, oh, yeah, no, totally. But it was really funny, too, because a lot of people, like, Chew on Head had given me shit on Twitter. And then I ran into her there, and then she was like, I came over, and she's like, oh, my God, are you okay? Is everything okay? And I'm all like, she's, like, talking all this crap about me on fucking line. Like, what the fuck? Well, you know what really pisses me off is, like, people who say that they're my friends, right? And, like,
you don't have any friends.
A year ago, they'd be like, oh, yeah, we're totally friends. So then, they know what's going on. And then I go to them, and I'm like, hey, do you think you could help me out?
Does Matt have, like, literally any friends, like, whatsoever?
And I kind of lay out this plan that's really not anything crazy. It's just a way to kind of, like, get into a new audience and to, like, move away from where I'm at. And, yeah, like, fucking silence. I just, like, okay, well, I'm on my fucking own here. Well, I don't really give much of a shit anymore. Like, I might lose 1,000 subscribers a month, but you know what? If they want to leave, they want to leave. I can't stop them. Like, after a while, it's just like, what the fuck's the point?
If they want to leave, they want to leave. I can't stop them. What kind of fucking business logic is that? This is the dude who wrote the book on how to deal with the internet. And he's like saying if they want to leave, they want to leave. I can't stop. Like, it's literally DSP. It is what it is. Nothing I can do, but I digress. Like, this is this dude's livelihood. And once again, this is his full-time job. He has all day to edit shit. He has all day to put this stuff together. And he's just like, oh, it's nothing I can do about it. It is what it... Like, get the fuck out of here. I mean, seriously. That's just... He's so pathetic. Like, he's giving up without even trying. Like, he doesn't even want to try anything new. He just wants to, I don't know, bitch about it and complain about how bad his life is. And it's just, like, DSP at least streams for, like, 7 hours a day. Matt couldn't do that. Wow. DSP is also actually married and makes probably like 3 or 4 times as much money.
Like, who gives a shit? Like, I mean, I found out tonight that Ethan Ralph was actively trying to get my channel taken down. There's a lot of attacks on my channel that were coming out in a way that were just like, it was very coordinated. I could not figure out where it all came from, but there's a lot of it that I did see, that I could see where it was coming from. And it was Ralph's Discord. They would post a link to a video of mine, and everyone would go mass download it.
Wait, what? So, mass downvoting a video gets it taken down. No, it doesn't. What the fuck is he talking about? Downvoting a video doesn't take it down. I mean... I thought this dude wrote the book on how to handle the internet and how to handle, like, social media marketing. I mean, downvoting a video actually helps the video. Because when you downvote the video, it counts as user engagement. So if a video gets a whole bunch of downvotes, that will help it out. Like, the people who were, like, spamming shit on Matt's videos, like calling him a cuck and stuff, that actually helped him out quite a bit. Because that was helping, that was boosting his engagement numbers artificially, and probably helped him stem a little bit of the decline of his channel. But yeah,
I didn't do anything to Ralph. I didn't flag his stream. I didn't do anything to him. I felt bad that his dad died, and then I found that out. I'm like, fuck, let's fuck him. Who cares? People say it all the time, like, oh, you're bleeding subs, and I'm all like, yeah, and what's your point? Well, I mean, like, your channel's dying. My channel would actually grow if I could get the mass dislike campaign to stop. It's slowed down quite a bit, but that's the whole point. Is like the algorithm.
My channel would grow if I got the dislike campaign. No, hate views are still views. I got a shit ton of downvotes and hate views on the fake leaks I did, which turned out to be actually exactly what was happening, ironically enough. But yeah,
is not boosting channel, so I have to figure out how to do that.
Doesn't that help your channel though? Disliking?
No. Didn't you say you used to work for Sirius XM?
What, me? Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to get a podcast on Sirius.
oh
though.
my
I think
god,
that'd be
can you imagine
cool.
how shitty that would be?
There's a method of going about it, but I think it's something like you have to send like a tape or a demo tape or
Oh,
something
that's
like
too
that
much
to
effort
Sirius
for
XM.
Matt. Matt is
Yeah, I
sleepy.
don't think I have the skills right now to get that. But I mean, more or less, what I was thinking was like doing.
He doesn't have the skills to record himself talking for an hour and a half and fucking mail it. What? Fuck me, this guy's lazy.
Like a voicemail, like call in for voicemail. Because the reason why is because I can't do it live. I'd like to do it live every day. The problem with that is though is because I've got the daughter. I got one more kid on the way. I don't have time to do that. On a I don't have time to lock down the hour.
I don't have time to do a 1 hour podcast to send it to Sirius and possibly turn my career around. Okay.
Does that make sense at all? Or?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
1 second.
It makes absolutely no sense. I love how he doesn't know why Ralph hates him. Like he's completely baffled. I don't know why Ralph hates me. Also, why does he think people believe him that he didn't flag Ralph? When he flagged a whole bunch of other people and lied about that. So, oh, okay, that's over. So let's go to the next leak. Okay, what's the next one?
I don't know Andy Worski. I don't know him at all.
Oh no, I don't know. He's no. I don't really feel like going into all of that, but the long and short of it is, he got featured on that broadcast, and then today he lost the ability to live stream on his live
because you
channel.
flagged him. Maybe I'd
so
say that.
Yeah. Well, I think what
That didn't sound like a human laughing. Let's go back and listen to this again.
So
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
That was
I think
the
what it
least
was is
charismatic
when
thing
he
I've ever
left the
heard.
Skeptic community, what Thunderfoot doesn't realize is that he was a joke. He was. Because every time he made a video, he would go and turn it into something about Anita Sarkeesian. Like, legitimately about Anita Sarkeesian.
But you turn everything into Zoe Quinn.
You know, that's what he would do. You mean, go back and watch it. I don't know if he's deleted the videos, but go back and watch any of his old videos. About the 2/3 mark. In almost every single one of them, there would then be a transition, a shift over to Anita Sarkeesian. It became a running gag. And then Thunderfoot got disillusioned with Brexit, which I can't say I blame him on, and decided to leave the Skeptic community, air quotes, because he was upset about, Sargon supporting Brexit. He did not support Brexit. And just, yeah.
I was listening. I just.
No. It's okay. I ran my phone.
No,
right
he
now.
wasn't listening. No one was listening, Matt. No one cares.
Lunith, do you watch my Blu-ray therapy series? Alright, there's an episode coming tomorrow. I didn't get a chance to shoot it until later on tonight. Or earlier tonight.
We have a video coming
I got
up.
home when I was tired. I'm like, I don't really feel like...
We have leaked audio coming up about Matt's actual political views, and that is fucking golden.
So, but it's a comment. Although it might be a little bit short. I kind of got caught at Best Buy. So because I was recording, and one of the I think it was probably like a staff supervisor or something was all like, "Sir, what are you doing?" All like, nothing. I was like, I'm just taking a picture. It's like, oh, you can't take pictures here. Like, fuck you. Of course, I was polite about it and put my camera away. So, any of you guys gonna pick up Days Gone next week?
It could be fun. I just don't have the budget.
Wait, I thought Matt said he didn't have an hour to send in the demo tape to Sirius that could revitalize his old career, and he's playing video.
Oh yeah, no. My dad got me a gift card to Best Buy
Aha!
for my birthday.
Yeah,
and that's gonna cover the cost of the game. So
yeah,
thanks, Dad.
What is it with these dudes and like begging for birthday card money from their parents?
I'm actually having like a lot of trouble breathing, so I'm gonna go.
That is the best excuse to get away from Mundane Matt I've ever seen. Okay, let's go to 6.
Wait, am I still streaming right now? Oh, that would be bad. No. In San Diego, it's not hard. Throw a stone. Any direction. Dick.
I called my boss, and I'm all like, hey, man, like, I just want to check what time paycheck's coming in today. And he's like, oh.
Okay, we're gonna have to go back to the kill stream, unfortunately.
No one saw his video.
The Boulders t-shirt that I made. Yes.
I'm talking about going into Warhammer 40K. Of course, I don't know anything. What are your thoughts on all this?
Ethan Ralph, it's me.
Daughter. Video. I'll support you. I'll back you up. And
I'm just gonna jump ahead.
2, 1, go.
Just just SJW feminist. If she's out there making claims, right? So just.
But I mean, actually, he won that. He got the apology. So I mean, you could say I was wrong with that. I guess I'll say it. I was wrong with that. He succeeded with that.
Yeah.
He succeeded with that. Exclusively games, like you said, it exists. I mean, Matt's just jealous that he can never achieve anything.
Just when you started, I noticed there was this little septic pimple in the chat that said, "Oh, thank goodness, it's a rand-free day. Will allow me to spoil your day."
Oh, their hopes were dashed because here's Rand. Rand, you didn't hear it. You didn't hear it. Oh wow, the Clintons got him.
Oh, she'll make a noise. She's not feeling well. My girlfriend's daughter.
That's not the father. Now,
now you got anything else, Rand? Or you want to hang out here for as long as you can, or?
Same guy who was wasn't he trying to bully you? Just the other day on that stream, I think he had something to say about numbers, which has turned out to be quite ironic.
He did say several rude things, I have to say. Yeah.
A good look. But there he was saying like, "Oh, you're."
Matt's girl.
Oh, Bibble is the father.
Yeah, Bibble knows.
The second video about me saying he
for child support payments.
He can't confirm that on stream. What was I thinking? He's got lawyer on retainer. They told him never. Yeah, he knows better than that.
All right, so 422. Got it.
Yep, 422. All right, let's do it on go again. 3, 2, 1, go.
Neutral perspective. And then he made a second video about me saying he forgave me, which is such a weird thing to say because I didn't do anything to him. And then he made another video basically saying that I'm like a sociopath.
Oh, okay. We already talked about this. Let's jump ahead.
In the gay area.
Wait.
Do you realize what this clip just confirmed? Matt has a stunt cock.
By the way, he was just swimming
if you're
in
looking
nudes.
for penis, you can look somewhere else, man.
I might lose 1,000 subscribers a month.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of it that I did see.
Yeah, Ninja Getting from the quartering. He says, "I am coming."
Oh, that would be bad. No, for some dick, I can direct with a girl who was a stripper, but not the stripper I dated. It actually was her friend from years prior. It's a whole weird thing. Anyway, she wanted to go to this nightclub in the gay area.
Okay, let me go ahead to part 2.
What's up? Finish your thought, Dame, and I'll let quartering get in. What were you saying?
I just wanted.
Yes.
This is gonna sound conceited. So I mean, like,
I have so much trouble appealing to emotion in that regard.
Him.
I'm just trying to find where it gets back to this.
Right. Because there's no debate. You know, part of the fight over Ghostbusters was.
Okay, give me a minute. Let me see if I can find this shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. Let's see here. If I can find this. Okay, I think this is it.
Would be like a 4 in LA. Wow.
Aren't all the Instagram thoughts and...
Alright, hit on my gay men. The Mundane Matt leaks. Let's continue.
Everyone in, like, you go to Los Angeles and you at, like, you know, what would be a 10 and let's say like Toledo, Ohio, you know, a Toledo 10 would be like a 4 in LA. Wow.
Aren't all the Instagram thoughts in LA?
A lot of them, yeah. Oh no, and a lot of them are either in LA or like Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I will say this though. The Vancouver, British Columbia has produced the highest amount of Playboy Playmates than any other region on Earth. So, Canada, they've done something right.
No.
But it's like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, like I went to a Kylie Minogue concert when I lived in LA. My buddy really wanted to go see Kylie Minogue, so we went to go see her. You know, so we were two fat bearded men going to the West Hollywood gay icon, you know, concert, and I have never been fucked more in my entire life. And these are the dudes who were fucking me were like fit, you know what I mean? Like these dudes worked out, they all had like 6-packs, and I'm going like, if I were gay, I would let you fuck me.
What?
What? If I were gay, oh wow, that was quite a money quote there. I'm not gonna finish it because it would get clipped out from me saying it, but yeah, the soundboard. I think that's a given. Yeah, that has to be. That's a clip. Somebody said play it again. Yeah, maybe we should.
These dudes worked out. They all had.
Let's see, what do we have here? Why did I close the window?
You want to go straight, keep the degeneracy and go trans woman next?
Yeah. I figured we had to do trans women next. Let's see. We got 1, 2. I think we have 3 left. Trans women. That's the next clip. Oh my god. Let's hit it right.
But the thing is like, I actually am glad she's keeping her dick though, because like that's just too much shit to fucking do. Like, and to lose your dick like that, I don't know. It's like you're trading it out.
I mean, that's like 95%. Just like this is a little bit more.
But no, the problem is that you lose so much pleasure from cutting off your dick. Like a fucking like. No, a vagina like that is not the same. Like I would, like honestly, if I was ever to like get in a serious relationship with a trans girl, I'd be like, if you cut your dick, like I'm done. I'm not gonna have you fucking ruining your life and shit.
It's gonna get weird, but don't they turn the dick inside out, and that way, like.
So you heard it here. Matt would only have sex with a tranny if they were pre-op. He wouldn't have sex with them if they were post-op. Matt prefers the pre-op trannies. I love how he has like a thought-out opinion on this.
Oh my god. Let's hit it right.
But the thing is like, I actually am glad she's keeping her dick though, because like that's just too much shit to fucking do. Like, and to lose your dick like that, I don't know. It's like you're trading it out.
I mean, that's like going like 95%. Just like this is a little bit more.
But no, the problem is that you lose so much pleasure from cutting off your dick. Like a fucking like a vagina like that is not the same. Like I would like honestly, if I was ever to like.
Yep, that is the issue with cutting off your dick. Is just that sex is less pleasurable. That is 100% the reason why that's the case. Not that it's fucked up, not that it's dangerous, it's just less pleasurable.
Like get in a serious relationship with a trans girl, I'd be like, if you cut your dick, like I'm done. I'm not gonna have you fucking ruining your life and shit.
It's gonna get weird, but don't they turn the dick inside out, and that way, like, you can still fuck the dick backwards or whatever?
No, it's like they cut it and then they invert it, and then they place bits in pieces of the penis around the labia, and then they create like an artificial clitoris, and you have to dilate the.
I guess look, the best part about that is I guess the pussies look pretty good from what I've heard.
Oh no, they look good, but it's like
you know you can't.
From what I've
they
heard,
can't get pregnant. So you know,
well, what's even the point? I don't care if they get
It's
pregnant
just,
or not.
you know, it's just. I mean, treat like if you start dating a trans woman who's has like the sex change surgery, you need to treat her vagina like it's the fucking Panama Canal. Vessels of semen flow through that every single day because nothing happens.
Oh,
it's like a literal diaphragm, but biological.
But
the
you're
thing
saying
is,
that
you always
feel
need to
less
do
when it's artificial. You're saying that they don't feel much when they do that.
Yeah, no, it's fucking. It destroys the pleasure. Like you're. That's the thing. Like I would just rather keep it.
Hold on, real quick, because this is again kind of going a little bit deeper.
So, like, what can I even say to this? Like, he's talking about a tranny, and he's like, a fucker like the Panama Canal? What?
And the pun will be intended here. But okay, since the male G spot is technically the prostate.
Oh no!
Like, could you still elicit some kind of orgasmic response by putting in a couple fingers at the butt and pressing to the left? Is that possible?
I mean, I guess theoretically you should still be able to stimulate the
because
prostate.
no one ever talks about that.
Like, yeah, well, I don't know. You know what really pisses me off though about like the whole Blair White situation is like she's like the quote unquote cool trans girl that's like fine with being asked like some of the like most uncomfortable questions. Like people get her in streams and they're like, oh, so you still have your penis? It's like, okay, like if this has not been worked up to, you just don't ask somebody if they have a dick or not. Like that's so weird. And like the fact that she acts so cool with it, like, oh, it's just fine, just ask about my genitals, you know, it's cool. I'm the cool trans girl, guys. I don't get offended by really uncomfortable questions that shouldn't be asked.
So Jim, not so mundane now, is he?
Wow. That was pretty interesting. I think we have maybe we'll do two more. Okay. We'll do Mundane Matt political views, and we'll end off with let's see here. Where is it? Here we go. I think this is it.
All right, let's hit the political views first, right now.
But I also firmly believe that the United States should adopt English as its official language.
Well, that's some edgy shit.
And apparently that makes me a bad guy.
By the way, Matt, what are your thoughts on Trump?
We could do better.
Agreed.
Well,
but I will say, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, I mean, I don't know. I really do think Hillary would have been better than Trump, but I mean, Hillary's bad, you know, like at the same no, Hillary would have been better than Trump.
Fuck you,
hands down. She would have been more presidential than Trump. We would not be. I have a friend of mine that was like firmly in the belief that like if Hillary would have become president, we would be in World War III within like 6 months. She would have put that no-fly zone over Syria. Russia would have been like you know. Except now Russia's targeting undersea internet lines is now what Russia's targeting. I mean, I just don't think right-leaning economics have ever been proven to work.
Mundane Matt is such a bitch that he supported Hillary Clinton. Like, I don't begrudge him for supporting Bernie Sanders, really. But did he even say he supported Hillary Clinton? Like, around the time of the... I don't think he even had the balls to say that. So Hillary Clinton... he supported her, and he will later say he believes the Russian hacking stuff.
It's like the whole like, to right-leaning people, left-leaning economics has never really.
Right-leaning economics have never worked. Like, what does right-leaning economics work? To me, that kind of sounds like moderate protectionism. Wouldn't that be like libertarian economics? Like, I don't really get... So all right-leaning economics, all semi-liberal in the classical sense economics, or all free market or all market economies have no regulation whatsoever. I think is what he's saying. I don't know.
It worked. You know. But what... Okay, so like every single successful capitalist society has been under regulatory systems. Like it's never not been that. Like look at any successful like mixed economy system that actually like flourishes. Like, that's the problem, that they don't understand that like it's like, oh, the stock markets, they're so high. It's like,
has Trump ever said that he wants no government regulations whatsoever? I mean, he wants protectionism, doesn't he? So, like, Trump wants protectionism, and he wants the government to get involved in international trade more than Obama did. So, if Trump is right-leaning, then wouldn't that mean right-leaning economics wants protectionism? I don't know.
Do you know what comes after that? It's a bust. It's a boom and bust cycle. That's what that works on. Like, it's failed economic principles. It never works ever.
Stock market never works ever. Joint stock companies have never worked ever. None of it has ever worked.
It's terrible. I mean, saying that it's like, oh, they look across the aisle and they're like, oh, that's really bad. To me, it doesn't really say much of anything. They're just wrong. Yeah. It's it's, you know, I mean, people, okay, like I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter.
I was originally too.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't like everything that he says, but I do like the idea of investing in human capital.
I do like the idea that we live in a society.
You know, like the whole tuition-free colleges and everything else.
I hate this fucking free meme. It's not free, it's subsidized. And I don't really have an issue if you want publicly funded college. That's a separate issue. But it's not free. The money comes from people who pay taxes.
I think something like that is needed, or at least the abolishment of student loan debt. You know, we should just eat the $1 trillion at this point. Like, we're already 20 trillion in debt. Fuck it. But the thing is I think that, you know, Hillary would have been, Hillary would have been, like, you know, but so many people, this is the big problem with YouTube too. So you know how YouTube, or how Twitter and Facebook were infiltrated by Russian bots and stuff?
Yeah, he unironically believes in the Russian hackers meme.
Yeah. Oh God, he believes the bot.
I do believe that the same thing happened to YouTube. They just covered it up. And here's how I classify it. Here's how I qualify. Both Paul Joseph Watson and Steven Crowder skyrocketed to over 1 million subscribers in 2017.
I was gaining followers left and right leading into the election. Every time I did an anti-Hillary video, because I just was still pissed off at the DNC.
So, in Matt's world, the fact that people got a whole bunch of subscribers for being likable and making content people want is only possible because of Russian hackers. Like, it doesn't even occur to him that maybe Steven Crowder got so big because people like him and they liked the content he made. He's like, I didn't gain subs. Yeah, because no one likes you.
See fucking over Bernie. You know, that I was gaining followers. I was gaining a lot of stuff. And then all of a sudden, you know, I told people I'm going to be critical of Trump. Like, I don't want him, you know. But I was willing to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. That lasted all of like 2.
Yeah, but there's like a big movement. A lot of Trump supporters were like millennials and Zoomers who watch YouTube. And they were looking for like pro-Trump stuff on YouTube. So
2 days. And, you know, then all of a sudden I start like jettisoning followers. You know, I had such slow growth last year. And
yeah, because people hate you.
Part of that, I think, has to do with I do think that there are certain conservative commentators that have pushed an anti-Hillary, pro-Trump narrative that have found themselves getting exceptionally favored in terms of the.
Yeah, because a lot of the people who watch YouTube like Trump and hate Hillary.
Of just the way YouTube operates. And I think a lot of it had to do with it makes no sense to me to target Twitter and to target Facebook, but to not target YouTube. Which is more easily gained.
I just love how the idea that people just prefer this type of content and people legitimately just don't like Hillary doesn't occur.
Than either of the other fucking outlets, right? Like, the thing is, YouTube, if you notice all the radical, not just the all the radical changes that have been happening at YouTube recently, like how they've changed the how you get paid, you know, 1,000 subs or, you know, in 4,000 hours, right? Like
that's why the adpocalypse happened. That's why so many right-wing channels have been taken down and demonetized.
Do all that. And they, you know, like they do that as a way to cut down on people that are just, you know, mass creating accounts, mass downloading popular videos and then re-uploading them, getting the 10,000 views that they fucking pay for, and then going off and getting into the AdSense system and then making money that way, or trying to spread particular videos by having mass upvotes, right? Because it's called velocity. What is it? It's there's just like velocity approach or something like that. It's a okay. Here's how you do it.
I don't think
so
there's censoring. I think there's just a delay.
Big video, huge video, whatever. You hold the live stream. You get all your audience in there, however many people you can get in there and shit. And then what you do while you are streaming is you publish the video, right? You publish that new video, and then you link everyone over to that video. I'm going to end the stream. Go watch the video. Post in the comments.
I honestly had never heard of any of this before.
So it doesn't add into your analytics. And then what you do then is you then send hundreds or thousands of people over to this one video as when it launches, and the velocity viewing from that skyrockets it in the algorithm. And so that's the thing too. People could find ways to just like, you know, hit these videos, because I find I'm very much trying to figure out how the hell Paul Joseph Watson and Steven Crowder jumped up as much as they did in 2017.
Can I propose an alternative theory?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think certainly the SJWs, the way in which they arose so far as America is concerned, because primarily I think your demographic, if I'm not mistaken, is from, you know, North America, specifically, you know, the United States.
You would be correct.
Yeah, and in that region, I think that people are becoming increasingly disenchanted with the left, and I think that they believe it's like infesting academia and like, you know, film critique and video game critique and all this stuff. And I think that lots of young men in particular, young white men, are very disenchanted with this. and essentially people who may have just been like your run-of-the-mill Democrats a couple years ago are getting pushed further to the right, and I think that explains a lot of it. I think that the transitional period from anti-SJW, I think that, like, honestly, I hate to say it, but you guys did a really good job of like filtering out the people and right into the coffers of the right.
You know, like, did I have anything to do with this? And the truth of the matter is, maybe. I don't know. I don't have exact metrics, but yeah, maybe. And
maybe he got Trump elected.
Because I think that you're kind of like a reasonable guy. You seem like,
No,
you're relatively leftist. You're just kind of like leftist economically and probably socially and stuff like that.
I'm socially, like, I'm probably more fiscally conservative, in many ways, just because I feel like there's so
He's fiscally conservative, but right-leaning economics have never worked.
much overspending.
Never.
And everything else, and but like socially pretty liberal. Like on some things, like I'm also kind of nationalist in some respects, especially when it comes to language.
Nationalist, actually, on a pragmatic level, I don't
full
think that we can
Polly.
abandon that yet. That's actually why I'm staunchly anti-immigration. I just think humans are too tribalist at the moment.
Well, okay, I'll put it to you like this, dude. If you go to Los Angeles, there are parts in Los Angeles where you go into this community, and it is like going to Mexico. The street signs are all in Spanish. The billboards are all in Spanish. No one there speaks English. And the place is a goddamn shithole. I have literally driven down a street in North Hollywood, which is in this whole Hispanic neighborhood.
Be careful, Matt.
I drove down a street that had 2-foot high trash. It looked like it had been like a fresh snow, and a snowplow had gone through and just pushed it all out of the way. This was like in 2011, I think 2011, 2012.
Like Polly the polar bear was unironically,
but it was right next to a country club, which is just the funniest goddamn thing.
Completely.
But I mean, you go to these areas. I lived in San Diego, lived in Los Angeles. I have nothing against Mexicans. Everyone I've met has been like really cool, really
He's
chill.
going full Polly.
But I really don't like that type of tribalism where it's like, we're just gonna trash this place because fuck it, and like it drives me up the wall because it's completely stupid that people just look the other way, and because no one wants to be the person to say anything. And so one of the things I hate, and I hate this, is like I really, really dislike the alt-right. But when they're talking like their ethno state, I'm just like, I would maybe move to one. And it's not because I hate other races or anything. It's like I know what to expect.
Of course not.
Yeah, it's like homogeneity. It's
the
idea that
I want to move to the ethno state. Let's see here. We're gonna do one more. This is not a recent leak, but it's pretty funny. This was how Mundane Matt got kicked out of church.
All right, let's hit the.
I have a friend of mine.
What are your thoughts on Trump?
I don't know. I really do think Hillary under a regulatory system and stuff.
Yeah. Oh God, he believes the Bible.
That they fucking pay for. I don't have exact metrics, but North Hollywood, next to a country club, which is just
and the cultural binds that realize that like homogeneity.
Yeah. To where writers like, oh, how would you get your ethnic? But I don't know how true that is.
I'm trying to find the story of how he got kicked out of church. Oh, I think this is it. Yeah, this is it.
Hey, all you guys out there. So this video is about how I was kicked out of church at the age of 15 for not having sex with a 13-year-old.
Yes, this is up on his
I mentioned
channel.
this yesterday in a video response to Repzian. He actually was like, what? I want to know more. As well as other people are like, what the fuck are you? Funny story. Let me take you back to the mid-90s, mid to late 90s, 1990s.
No, like this is literally Mundane Matt's channel. He thought this was a good idea to put it up. Like,
somehow he thought that this was a good idea, and we will see why it wasn't.
7 to be exact. I was 15 years old, living in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, going to church at a Calvary Chapel, which is why the background image on this video is of Calvary Chapel. I was there with my friends. They got me involved in the church. I was going 4 nights a week. I was having a ball, loving it, very much into God, into the whole idea of salvation, redemption, finding my Savior, yada, yada, yada. And anyway, so my buddy and I were at that age, we're kind of competing over girls and everything, and there was a girl there. Her name was Sonia. Sonia was 13, we were 15. She was on the cusp of being 14, so it wasn't like a huge, disgusting age difference, but that's not the point. The point is, both of us kind of dug her. She was very, I want to say, this was 16 years ago, so I'm trying to exactly remember how she was, but she was very open about certain aspects.
She was very thick.
Aspects of her life, and she was coming into her own sexuality, and as a result was interested in experimentation and things like that. Well, all that bullshit aside, she worked in the nursery or the daycare of the church. Now keep in mind that this church was like basically in like a children's daycare center that on this weekends it became a church, and on weeknights became a church. And so she was working there. So she very much wanted to have a child, right? She's getting her hormones in. She's feeling, I'm pretty sure she just got her period, all that kind of shit.
Well, why does he know this? Why is he talking about this 13-year-old girl this way? I still don't know why he thought this was a good idea.
So she comes to me one night, and she was like, Mundane Matt.
She said Mundane Matt. She called him that.
I want to have a baby, and I want you to be the father. And I'm going like, what? No. You could suck my dick. No, okay, I didn't say that. But no, I was like, shocked. I was very shocked. I had no idea about any of this. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be a dad. Here it is 16 years later. I'm still saying the same thing to my current girlfriend. I didn't want to be a dad. And I told her, I'm like, look.
I'm still saying the same thing. That didn't work out very well.
I don't want to be a dad. You don't want a kid. You're 13, you're almost 14. You don't want to have a kid. You maybe want an infant to carry around and play with, but you don't want like a 2-year-old. You don't want a toddler. You don't want a little kid. You don't want a teenager. You don't want an adult. You just want a baby, right? Because she's at that age. I'm like, just go work more in the nursery. You're cool. And she took like serious offense to this. Now, here's how all of this plays out to the church. Because her family used to be Jehovah's Witnesses. And the pastor of the church,
press X to doubt,
personally recruited them or converted them or indoctrinated them into the Calvary Chapel faith. He found them, met with them, conversed with them, and brought them into the fold. They were like his pet project. And as a result of that, they had the ear of him because he was very intent on making them accepted in the church, and they were a weird fucking family. But then again, you have to be a weird fucking family in order to be part of the Jehovah's Witness faith. Come on, you don't celebrate birthdays, Christmas, holidays, anything? It's just like a really kind of droll existence.
They probably celebrate your death, Matt.
It's like being on Twitter without ever swearing. Fuck that shit. But anyway, point remains. Sonia took offense, and this is when I first learned that women can be evil, because she started twisting so many things against me. I was going in there, helping out, volunteering, really into the church, and all of a sudden, I'm hearing rumors from people saying that I attacked her. Not like, like physically beat her up or nothing, but like there was a little strip mall next to the church, and a lot of us would go out there and hang out and smoke cigarettes afterward. And she would be over there, and she told me one time, she told someone that I had gone back there with her after Sunday school, and I'd put a knife to her throat, and I told her that if she didn't kiss me.
Put a knife to her throat. Why would you tell this story?
I was going to slice her throat. And that never happened. I never did that, right? But that did happen to her. She told me that story like a while back. She told me that there was a guy that she had...
Okay, but no one would know about this. Why would you bring this up? Yeah, there's this semi-credible story about me threatening a girl with a knife. I just don't know how you could think this was a good idea.
Known from her neighborhood who wanted her to, make out with him, and so he put a knife to her throat and forced her to do it. So she used that story against me. And that, like, started getting really kind of weird. And then she was telling people that I was going around and harassing her brothers, her younger brothers, by, like, throwing chairs at them and, like, hitting them with things and trying to beat them up and trying to hurt them. And of course she said this when, like, no one else was around.
No, I don't believe this. He's too much of a pussy to do any of this.
So I had no way of backing it up. And her little brothers, because they wanted to help her sister, were claiming that I did that stuff as well. And then the kicker was, like, her dad went to the pastor and was like, well, now Mundane Matt is calling my house at 2 o'clock in the morning and cussing me out. Okay, that did happen. I did not do it. And the story with that was, my friend and I were hanging out with some other friends. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We were drinking, and we were like, I wondered what Sonia's up to right now. Yeah, he should call her and maybe, like, what's up? So my buddy picks up the phone, and he dials it.
Yep, somebody else did it. Matt didn't do it.
Dials her house. It's like, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the dad answers, and he's just like, yeah, hello. And he's like, Sonia there? And, the dad's like, she's asleep. Hangs the phone and shit, right? Whatever. So then the other friend we were there picks up the phone, hits redial. Dad answers it, and he just goes, fuck you, you motherfucker, piece of shit asshole. Click, hangs up the phone. That's it. Stupid 15-year-old shit. No big deal. No big fucking deal. But I was there. I didn't participate, but I was blamed for all of that. So here it is. They're saying, like, almost sexual assault. Threats of physical violence, attacks on people, nothing of which had any witnesses outside of her, but because they were so close to the pastor, and the pastor knew me. Like,
what about, like, the brother who got the chair thrown at him? What was his side of the story?
Like I said, I'd gone to that church for 2 years. I was there all the time. I was really digging it. And I didn't, basically at that point, he was like, we need you to not come back. Because you're a disruption, you're a distraction, and you were causing too many problems. And I just, like, looked at him, like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you really? And at that point in time, like, I was 15, and I was just trying to figure it all out and shit. And I'm not a bad person. I may talk like a lot of crap, but I'm not a bad person.
Oh, no, you are.
I would never do anything like that to anyone, ever.
And
yet, here I am being accused, and I have absolutely no way of backing my claim, no way of proving my innocence.
Exactly the same
And the entire congregation was looking at me like I'm some sexual deviant or degenerate.
You are.
And that's just not who I am. So I said,
dude, we've seen the audio of you talking about how you want to fuck trannies and you prefer pre-op ones.
Okay. This is how you want to play. If this is what God wants for me, then I'm done. I'm gone. And I left, and 16 years later, I've never gone back to church. Anyone who tries to talk to me into going to one of their congregations, I basically tell them to go suck a gigantic, fat, hanging, AIDS-infested cock, swallow the load, and smile.
Wow.
It's deeply offended me as a person, because this is when you find out. This is why I've been one of the reasons why I will support the underdog more often than not. If something is there, I will back them, because there's always another side of the story. Because people like to make shit up, and they like to believe what they want to believe, and they like to push whatever efforts they can to back their own claims of being righteous. And in this case, Sonia was mad at me because I didn't want to fucking fill
By the way, this was from 6 years ago, but yeah.
Her belly with my seed, and she basically got me kicked out of a community that I had spent 2 years heavily involved with, that were friends and people that were very close to me, and people that I have not spoken to since, because I was basically ostracized for taking the high road and not being a sexual degenerate. Never mind the fact that I didn't want kids. So now you know. And according to G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle. So yeah. Welcome to my life.
He's not a sexual degenerate. Like, why would you be talking about this with, like, a 13-year-old girl? Like, talking about her period, talking about filling her belly with your seed, talking about how you were accused of, like, trying to rape her at knife point, like, that you were underage drinking and doing prank. Like, why would you bring this up? I mean, it just kind of beggars belief. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know.
Maybe I'm just not big-brained enough to understand this. Maybe I'm just not like Matt. Matt is like as big-brained as Saruman is. It's like, and I'm just going to end this stream with a Lord of the Rings reference. It's like Gandalf and Saruman are talking, and Saruman's like, we got to ally with Sauron to get close to him to destroy him. And it's like, but I'm going to fuck it up, and we're going to kind of ally with Sauron and kind of not, so he doesn't trust me at all, and he immediately turns on me and tries to kill me. And that is my big-brained idea. And then Gandalf's like, that's fucking stupid, Saruman. And Saruman's like, you're just not big-brained enough to get it, Gandalf. You're just too low IQ. You're too low time preference to understand my genius. Anyways, everybody, that is tonight's stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Some of these were old leaks, some of these were new leaks, some of these were borrowed, and some of these were blue. Good night, guys. God bless. Talk to y'all later.